Welcome to WG Sports All Things CFB Show. This is episode 3, and man, we have a lot to talk about. We're going to go through our week 3 WG poll, some week 2 reactions, as well as predictions for week 3. But first, just ask, please subscribe. It only helps me. There's no commitment that you have to make. There's nothing bad that can happen. It only helps me grow my platform. And also, if you want relevant and up to date information on college football, follow me on Twitter, WG Sports, all things CFB. But let's talk about the Week 3 WG poll. I definitely had to move a lot of teams around, think about a lot of things when making this. However, here's the list 1 through 10 first. Ohio State, LSU, Penn State, Texas, Oregon, Georgia, Miami, Illinois, Iowa State, and Notre Dame. That's the top 10. 11 through 20, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Clemson, Texas A&M, Tennessee, Louisville, Arizona State, Texas Tech, Nebraska, and USF. And then to round out the top 25, we have Indiana, Vanderbilt, Alabama, Michigan, and Missouri. And then, of course, on the outside looking in, we have Utah, SMU, Auburn, and Ole Miss. If you want to see these polls up to date, I usually send them out a day or two earlier before the episode comes out. Follow me on Twitter. However, I want to just talk about a few teams real quickly. First, USF. All right, they won against Boise State, and it was a pretty good win. And I thought to myself, okay, they beat the Group of Five team that went to the playoffs last year. All right, and they still looked like they could improve on things. That was impressive. And then I predicted last week Florida would beat them. And I'll admit, kind of whiffed on that one, right? But looking back at USF, not only does this Bulls team was able to beat those two teams, two top 25 wins in the first two games of the season, but they still look like a team that can get better. And we'll actually get to that soon, but just South Florida really impressed me. I think they're going to do some great things this year. I think they're going to be the Group of Five team of the year. When people talk about Group of Five teams, just how we talked about Boise State last year, that'll be South Florida. Next thing, Missouri. I put them in right at the top 25. I had them on the outside looking in for a while, but that win against Kansas, being able to come back and show that resilience after 21-6 in the first quarter, that's impressive. Another thing, I put Oklahoma right at 11. Big win over Michigan. We'll get to that in a little bit. Vanderbilt at 22. Win against Virginia Tech. We'll get into in just a second. Very, very awesome win for the Commodores and their fan base. And then we brought down Clemson down to 13. Now, on one hand, on paper, Clemson is one of the best teams in the country. However, they lose to LSU week 1. All right, it's LSU. I have them number 2 in the country right now, right behind Ohio State. You can't really hold that against them too much. Then all of a sudden they're down 16-3 at halftime against Troy at home. Now, yes, they ended up winning the game. They scored like 24 unanswered points. But a top 10 team should not have that happen at home against the Trojans. No disrespect to Troy. It's a great program down there. But if you're Clemson, that's not the standard you want to set. That's not a top 10 type of standard. But if you want to see more polls like that, please check out my Twitter.